probably know Vistaprint for business cards. But did you know we print everything you need to brand your business? We print banners and signs that help you stand out, and must-have merch like tote bags, t-shirts, and hoodies. Right now, new customers can get 20% off with code NEW20, because if you need it, we print it at Vistaprint.com.
At Walden University, get the W. Stand out the minute you start learning industry-valued skills for in-demand careers. Get the W with microcred, certificates, and field experience. Show off your career readiness and mojo before you even graduate. Get the W.
Usually getting a phone for $0 is too good to be true. A hassle, but not at Verizon. Now, when you make the switch to Verizon, America's best network, you can get the new Samsung Galaxy S26 Plus for $0. No drama, no hassles, no trade.
What is good, guys? Give me a second. I need to pause this music. My bad. But what's up, guys? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I hope you guys had an amazing Friday today. Hopefully, you guys had a good trading week. But let's go ahead and start recording too. What's good, JB? What's good, bro? Is this the record button? Can't even see. All right. This is mine. Okay, yeah, we can record to the cloud. Bet. Awesome, guys. What is up? First and foremost, happy Friday. Hopefully, you guys had an amazing Friday today. For myself, I just got off work not too long ago. Today was a busy day in the barbershop, that's for sure. So it was good day. And it was warm. I'm not sure where y'all from, where all y'all from, but I'm from Oxnard, California. And it was a nice warm day today. So I enjoyed that. Um, but again, hopefully you guys had a great trading week this week. The markets did give some movement. And I like how the market's moving right now, even though, it may not have gone in my direction or did the stuff that I wanted to do. However, it is making nice moves and I am seeing things build up, right? I haven't really got a whole lot of confirmations on a lot of the trades yet that I'm looking at, but it's still cooking up and I am liking how structure is being formed, right? So it's just a waiting game at this point. However, right, today is Friday, right? I would like to back test and get our hands dirty when it comes to you know, getting our hands dirty in the markets. When it comes to back testing, it's really practicing when we're not playing the game, right? If y'all ever done sports, right? If y'all ever done sports, you guys practice a lot more than y'all play games, right? Usually, depending on the sport, you guys play a game maybe once or twice a week, right? Now, on the other days, you guys are practicing. Now, if we even take it to like a professional level, right? Now, for me, I'll just go ahead and choose basketball because everybody knows, Steph Curry. Now, again, when it comes to basketball, even, right? Even the most best athletes, the best basketball player on the team, on the court, probably gets about 25 to 30 looks, meaning they're probably shooting the ball about 15 to 25 times, right? A game, you guys have to think about a game. They're shooting the ball about 15 to 25 to 30 times in a game, right? And if they made all 30 from shooting from the 2-point line, they're making 60 points. So again, not every player is touching 60. So you got to put this in perspective. These athletes are practicing and taking shots, hundreds of shots a day, right? Getting practice, making sure their reps count, muscle memory, the gut intuition, right? And then during the game, their time to put up shots is very, very minimal, right? But they're already ready. They're already practiced. We have to do the same thing when it comes to trading. If you're not back testing, right? If you're not practicing, then you're just practicing on live opportunities, on live setups. And it shouldn't be that way. You should be prepared before the live setups happen, right? That way, when it is time for a live setup, you can feel prepared, well prepared to either not execute the trade or execute that trade, right? You shouldn't be practicing on a live setup just to like, oh, you know what? I'm new to trading, so I'm gonna go ahead and just take every opportunity I see, and then we'll build from there. That's not how you're supposed to do things, right? Can you get thrown to the wolves? Yeah, for sure. But again, I'm not that type of mentor. I'm not gonna tell you, hey, just go ahead and just practice on every setup you see in the market. No, that sounds wild. Why would y'all do that, right? Why would anybody do that? That's what backtesting is for. So we can iron out the wrinkles, ask the questions, look at the structure, dissect structure. That way, when it comes to the live setup, we already have, 15 reps under our belt. So when it comes to, trading day, we just got to look for that one shot or that those two setups that look clean to us. Depending on if you're a scalper, you're gonna see a lot of opportunities throughout the day. If you're intraday, you'll probably see a couple opportunities a week, and if you're more of a swinger, you're gonna see very few opportunities within the month, right? But again, how well can you be prepared? How many practices can you do before it's time to take the shot, right? Give me a 5 if that makes sense. because I know a lot of you guys, whether it's YouTube or on Zoom right now. Actually, let me go ahead and hop on YouTube so I can see the chats. But a lot of you guys right now, y'all can see the setup and opportunities. That's the thing. I know a lot of you guys can see the setups and the opportunities. So now that you guys understand the strategy and understand the setups, it's super important that you guys just rep it out. Just rep it out every single day, 30 minutes a day, an hour a day. Trust me. Does it suck? Does it suck taking losses back to back to back? No, it doesn't. But imagine losing your own capital and taking losses back to back to back. Iron out the wrinkles beforehand. I promise you, it sucks. It's humiliating. It discourages, it breaks down confidence. It discourages you. Trust me, I've been there. When I help people, I see it. Like it's something that needs to happen, though. You need to shed that old skin so you can, come back refreshed, feeling better. Give me a 2 if that makes sense, guys. Super important. Like I know, like it may seem like it's overlooked, but it's super important that you guys get all those bad habits out, shed that old skin. That way we can come back better and well prepared. Okay. So let's go ahead. We'll head to the charts. Let's go find something that we don't usually trade a whole lot. Let me move this out the way. All right, let's see. What is this? I want to find some good opportunities. Some good structure for you guys. Let's see. What time frame are we on? The 4 hour? What would you guys like to backtest? Because when it comes to me, I want to backtest things for you guys, right? I want you to watch me backtest structure that has, or pairs that have good structure. I want the thing about me is when I do these backtesting calls, I want you to actually see. I want you to actually see the structure. Gold, what's up, Etney? Yo, I haven't seen you on this call in a minute. What is good? Sheesh. That's funny. Let's go. I love it. I love it. I don't even know. Which one do I have? Oh, I have this one. Okay. We'll go with the Owando one. Why not? Been working on passing your funded? Let's go. Let's go. Keep working on that. Keep your head down. Stay grinding. Right. Okay, cool. Gold's actually a pretty good example. It's just a lot tougher, right? Because, when it comes to, the setup and opportunities and structure, right? When I teach you guys, I like to find pairs that have the cleanest structure. That way you guys can see, take your notes, and then take it back to the pairs that you guys trade, right? Now, again, this is what higher time frame, this is what clean structure looks like. Okay. Now, once we drop down a time frame or two, or maybe we come across a pair, with ugly structure, guys, pullbacks like this, you gotta understand this whole move right here is gonna have some of these pullbacks in it, right? This pullback here is also gonna have some pullbacks in it. So understanding structure, one, is gonna be huge. I forgot exactly why. I totally had a brain fart right now. I totally why I lost and forgot why I had brought that up exactly. Oh my gosh, what am I talking about right now? I swear, bro. Lost it. I swear. Freaking hilarious. Um, Clean structure. Oh yes, that's why. Thank you. Thank you, Mike. You're listening, bro. When I teach you guys, I want to find, charts with clean structure, right? Because I want you to take it back. And some structure just isn't gonna look super clean. We're gonna have some massive pumps, You know, some of these pullbacks are going to look kind of ugly and then continue. We might even have a lot of consolidation, trap down consolidation, you know, continue. A lot of this stuff is going to be ugly. And again, a lot of the indices, a lot of the commodities, they're ugly for a reason, right? Everybody trades them. They're the most, you know, manipulated, you know, um, pairs in the market. Why? Because everybody trades them. Okay. So it's super important that one, we just understand the concept, and then take it back to the pairs that we trade. Okay. Now, again, I'm gonna just take it back. Okay. The pair or the setups that I like to look for that give me a hint that the market wants to continue are starting points and head and shoulders. Gold always tries to do me dirty, toxic. Yeah, you know, she's a little toxic, but you have to understand why, you know, and this is where, you know, and this is like a, you know, a contradicting topic, and it could be like an arguable, you know, topic, you know, depending on who you talk to. But in my opinion, right, if you're not yet seeing some type of success when it comes to trading commodities like, you know, gold, silver, you know, platinum, copper, oil, um, things like that, and you're not really seeing any success when it comes to trading NAS, US 30, SPX, you know, any of the indices, whether it's like Euro or US, whatever the case, Australian, any indices, if you're not seeing success with those pairs, guys, it's okay to take a step back. Okay, I promise you. It's okay to take a step back. Let me just hop over here real quick so we can feel like I'm talking, yo. Right? I had to do the same thing. The best thing you can do for your trading journey is take a step back on the pairs that are the most toxic and find Forex pairs that have clean structure to your eyes. A lot of you guys will overlook this, and this is going to be the best piece of advice that you guys can take advantage for your trading career, right? If you're not seeing success with these things yet, take a step back, go find a Forex pair that just like, you know what, this structure is beautiful. I can see every move. I can almost anticipate what's going to happen next. You know, focus on that, master the strategy with that, whether it's smart money, you know, levels, or whether it's J7 when it comes to the other educators, you know, so on and so forth. But you have to, you got to do it, right? Because you got to build the confidence and the understanding of, okay, a lot of manipulation likes to happen with the big dog pairs, gold, silver, you know, indices. And not to say that it doesn't happen with the Forex pairs, but it doesn't happen as crazy or as often. And a lot of the Forex pairs, they respect way more, right? Way more than a lot of these indices do. So grasp the concept, guys. I promise you. Grasp the concept with the Forex pair, smack it. And I promise you guys you're even gonna have this thought, like, bro, I'm doing so well right now with this Forex pair. I don't even need the indices. I promise you, that was my thought, you know. And I was like, bro, I gave up the indices for like a full-on year. And then I ended up finding a play, took it, and then I was right back to my addiction. You know how it goes. You know how it goes. But at that point, when I went back to the indices, I had already understood the layout of BOS, change of direction, starting points, you know, violations. I understood it so well because I just focused on it with Forex pairs. When I saw it on indices and on gold and things like that, it's just different, right? So I'm telling y'all, it's a good tip to take. And if y'all don't take it and y'all still gonna struggle in the next year or two, remember what I said. What's the date today? January, February, March 13th, 2026. Remember what I said, right? So again, when it comes to finding opportunities in the market that give me a telltale sign that the market wants to continue, it is going to be a starting point to the upside, letting me know that the market just broke structure. BOS to the upside, we should now have some type of starting point in this area. letting me know, right, that we are continuing trend, right? Especially if the market just gave us higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and we're flowing in this upward trend direction. If I can see that we are continuing to get breaks of structures to the upside, I want to continue flowing with the trend. Give me a 3 if that makes sense, right? So once I see my starting point opportunity, I'm just going to wait here, wait for the market to come back, and look to continue the buy opportunities. Okay. That's opportunity number 1 that I like to look for in the market. That's letting me know that the market could go higher now. The second opportunity is going to be the head and shoulder pattern, right? And the head and shoulder pattern, and again, I'm still focused on the buy opportunities right now. There are 2 opportunities when it comes to the head and shoulder, right? In a downtrend, or let's just do it like this, right? Because we're in an uptrend over here. In an uptrend, there's option A, which is the inverted, right? And you can see that right here as well. In a downtrend, I want to see option B, and that's the regular head and shoulder, right? So in an uptrend, I want to see option A, right? So again, as the market is in an uptrend, I want to see if the market can go ahead, consolidate a little bit, break down for me, if it may. I want to see the market consolidate. I want to see the market break structure to the downside, letting me know that we just swept all this liquidity and that we just manipulated everybody that was looking for the buys. Once we change direction, I want to start looking for some buy opportunities, right? So we have a bearish BOS followed by a bullish change of direction. And at this point, I want to see if we can start looking for some buy opportunities. Now, these zones, these buy zones are a little different, right? I'm using the previous support that was swept when it comes to the inverted head and shoulder. And on this left-hand side, I'm using the demand zone, the starting point, right? The last selling candle before the market gives us that BOS, right? But nonetheless, same idea. I want to see if we can get some buy opportunities based off this structure. I want to see if we can continue flowing to the upside based off of this structure. Give me an 8 if this makes sense, guys. Awesome. Awesome. Let's go. Let's go. Now, same rules apply when it comes to the sells, right? We'll change this to red. Right? If we're in a downtrend, lower low, lower high, lower low. If we're in a downtrend and I can see that the market is continuing to break structure to the downside and it is continuing trend, I want to continue flowing with that bearish trend, right? So if I can see that we have our last bullish candle before the bearish rally breakout, I want to use that as my starting point, right? That starting point will be my supply zone, and I want to see if we can continue sell opportunities to the downside, right? And same rules apply. Remember, when it comes to the head and shoulder, we have 2 options. When the market is in a downtrend, we have option A. When the market is in an uptrend, we have option B. Okay. Now, if we're in a downtrend, I want to use option A. Okay. So again, I want to see the market consolidate a little bit, build some liquidity for us. I want to see the market break structure to the upside and then change direction to the downside. Once I see that, I want to go ahead and use my previous resistance as my buy zone, or I'm sorry, as my sell zone and my previous BOS, right? Once I see that structure, I'm already telling myself, okay, this is a possibility that the market may continue down. Okay, so And do you look for a structure on one time frame? No, I go back and forth. So when I back test, you'll even hear like when I even talk to myself and I'm like, oh, I got stuck on one time frame. Or if we get clapped with one time frame or if we get missed, I always reassess and go to different time frames. Because usually if you're missed, there's usually a reason why. But I do like to look at higher time frame for direction. And then, let me see. So I'll go ahead and put it like this. Let's go back. I'll delete this. That's a good question. So for my trend bias, I'm using higher time frames, such as the monthly, weekly, daily, and 4 hour, but mainly the daily. And 4 hour is optional, right? But a lot of this will just be monthly, weekly, and daily, right? Now my structure confirmations on my structure shift. This is usually my 1 hour. 1 hour, if you like to drop down a little bit. If not, you can stick to the 4 hour time frame. Okay. Now for the entries, now again, I want to just make this clear. If you want to wait for your structure shift and your entry, I'm gonna put entry optional. Because I know a lot of people that don't even like dropping down lower than the 4 hour and lower than the 1 hour. So if you see everything you want to see on those time frames, you can go ahead and enter based off of that structure on the 1 and 4 hour. Give me a 5 if that makes sense. And I was the same way, you know. Anytime I struggle on lower time frames, I'm like, all right, time to go back to the 1 hour, right? And I just gain my confidence back and I start breaking down slowly but surely. Now, entry time frames. This will be the lower time frames, such as the 5 minute, the 15 minute, or the 1 hour. All optional to you. How low do you want to drop? Right? How low of a time frame do you want to drop in order to feel comfortable looking for some opportunities? I'm not sure what song you're talking about right now. Oh, settle down, bro. It's always you, that I swear. Get out of here, bro. That's funny. All right. So again, trend. And let's break this down, right? We could break this down actually. If I'm on the monthly, weekly, daily 4 hour, and I can see that we are in an uptrend, what should we be looking for, guys? What should our main objective be? Buys or sells? Buys, right? We should be looking for some buy opportunities. Awesome. So let's just say there's a starting point here. Right? I know we're looking for some buy opportunities. Market just gave us a BOS on the daily. We just have to wait for the market to come back for us. Awesome. Now at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and change the color. We'll change this to orange, and then we'll make it a bit skinnier. Awesome. So again, as the market is coming down, right, now we're waiting for the 1 hour to 4 hour structure to give us that change of direction, right? As the market is dropping down, awesome. We should be marking up our BOSs, right? We should be marking up our BOSs to the downside. BOS, oops, BOS. Now we don't need every single BOS. We can just adjust from this one to this one. Now at this point, we're waiting for a change of direction line. Okay. Now, If we just continue dropping down, then we continue adjusting, okay? So we drop down one more time. Awesome. This is our BOS. We're waiting for our change of direction to happen. So at this point, if you would like, you can definitely test trade this area 100%, right? With the 1 to 3 risk to award. However, if you want to wait for a brand new setup to appear for extra confirmation, you can, and that's what we're doing right here. We're breaking it down, right? I'm gonna just break it down because I want to see the BOS. Awesome. So at this point, as soon as I see the market change direction, or we could even drop it down right here. No, let's just do it like this, and I'll break it down after. As soon as we see our change of direction on this 1 hour to 4 hour time frame, awesome. We finally got some confirmation. Let's go ahead. We got our confirmations there. Now, based on our setup earlier with the inverted, cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and change color again. And I'm gonna make it even skinnier because now this is a lower time frame. Awesome. So now, as this 15-minute to 5-minute structure is making its way, we initially do the same thing. Break a structure. Break a structure. Break a structure. Now, at this point, we can literally enter off of this setup already. But again, if you want to enter and wait for another shift to happen, this is that lower time frame entry. So we can go ahead and take this opportunity here and continue the market going higher. It just happens time frame by time frame. This is why, like, if you're really waiting for the confirmations, it really does take time, which is why, like, I mean, trading there's a lot of trades that aren't being taken every single day if you're waiting for confirmation. If you're waiting for like the first touches, like, here and oops, here and here, then yes, of course, you're trading every day because you're taking the first touches and you're continuing as it goes. But if you're literally waiting until all the way down to the last confirmation, which is your 5-minute, then obviously this is what we're waiting for. Does that make sense? Give me a 5 if that makes sense. Let's go. Let's go. So again, the black line is our trend direction, our trend bias, higher time frames. The orange line is our intraday structure, the 1 hour and 4 hour. This is where I like to look for that structure shift, that BOS change of direction, letting us know that the market is starting to head in our direction now. And then the lower time frame, if we want to wait for another confirmation, we can go ahead and wait for that. That way we could feel more comfortable. Okay. Give me a 10 if you're ready to go ahead and continue. Let me know. Awesome. Awesome. Let's go this way. Okay, cool. Let me see. I want to see. I think that was some good structure. I want to just find the good structure first. Let me see, because sometimes it just looks ugly and you gotta just find it. Let's go to the weekly. All right. We ain't doing all that. All right, cool. So let's see. Okay, let's go ahead. Awesome. So can I move this down? This is so gotta be so high. Okay, cool. All right, so at this time, we obviously know that gold is bullish right now. I mean, gold has been bullish for a while. As soon as we hit this point, gold has just been flowing to the upside, right? So gold is bullish, okay? Now, this is what I'm seeing. again, even though I want structure to look like this, doesn't always look like this. Not every single one looks like this. Okay, this is what I'm seeing. Notice how we have structure here. We have one that looks kind of nice. This one doesn't really look that nice. This one looks pretty nice, right? But every time we have a little hiccup, we have a starting point. Even if it's a little one, starting point. Big one, starting point, right? So every time we have a break of structure, doesn't matter how big the pullback is or how small the pullback is, there should be some type of starting point in here. Give me a 5 if that makes sense. Awesome. So now this is the thing. You know, at least with what we're seeing here, I can see I have a breakout here. And this is like where charts tend to get cluttered, but we just have to continue. We have a starting point there. I can see we have a break of structure here. We have a starting point here. Okay. Now at this point, I'm just waiting for the market to pull back in one of these zones. Now you're like, well, Vinny, which one do I take? Essentially, you can test trade all of them, right? Small lot, guys, I'm telling you, small lot. Test trades aren't trades to flip accounts. Those aren't the ones. They're test trades. If you're gonna lose, you're gonna lose a couple dollars, not a couple hundred. Okay. Like even for me, this is how I like to test trade zones. I did this for so long, right? Let's just say I have $100 because $100 just makes sense with this example. If I want to test trade, right? And again, this $100 is equal to 1% of my account. Okay. 1% of my account. Give me a 10 if that makes sense. I should move this up way over here. Okay. All right, let's actually just put that backwards. Feel like it should be the other way around, right? This $100 or this 1% is equal to $100. Okay. Just so the math makes sense, right? Now, if I want to break up this 1%, I'm going to go ahead and break it up into 0.25%, 0.25%, 0.25%, 0.25%, right? So I just broke up this 1% into quarters, right? I can put them together and do, you know what? I'm going to risk a 0.5%, but I don't want to do that, especially if I'm test trading. The point is to make it small, right? So if you want to risk, you can risk 0.25%, right? And if we get that change of direction, then you can go ahead and throw the rest in to fill that full percent. Give me an 8 if that makes sense. But what I like to do, especially when you're dealing with fundeds and larger amounts of capital, right? I want to go ahead and take 0.25% and break it up even smaller, right? So I like to break it up into fifths, right? 0.05, right? 1/5, 2/5, oops, we're getting ugly with it now. Oops, I got to redo that one. Right, so I'm breaking it up into 1/5%, right? Like 5 cents, right? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 cents, right? I'm breaking up a quarter into 5 cents. Give me a 1 if this math is making sense right now. So instead of risking my whole $100, I can just risk $5, right? Instead of risking, let's say I put together, 50, instead of risking half of my percent and risking $50, I don't have to do that. I can go ahead and just risk 0.25%, $25. Or if I want to even test trade smaller, I can go ahead and drop it down to 0.5% and risk $5. That's what a test trade is. Not, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and test trade a full percent. No, that's a freaking that's a trade. That should be your max trade, bro. Right? So when I test trade, I'm either test trading with 1/4%, and if it's super fishy, and you already know where I'm just like, it's not my favorite, and if it has potential, I'll test trade it. And a lot of my test trades, when they look iffy, are a fifth of a percent. So if I lose, I literally like lose no sleep over it. I don't lose sleep over losing $5 out of my 100. I will be losing sleep if I lost 50 out of my 100 because I'm like, oh shit, I just lost half of my account. What the heck? Or half, whatever the case may be. It's not what I'm gonna do. If I lose the whole 100, I'm like, oh shit, I just lost the full percent off of a shady setup on something I didn't even trust and believe in. I didn't even have my full faith in it, and I still risk my full percent. And no, sir, not me. That's not what I'm gonna do. Right? So you can easily test trade these zones, right? So give me a 777 if that makes sense. Let me know. Awesome. And this can go literally for any strategy because I do know we have, two communities on with that trade about 4 different strategies. So same thing, like zones violate, zones manipulate, and then go. Like, this could have easily thrown a nasty wick out. You just lost your test trade, and then the market gives you a confirmation, and then maybe you catch this one. Like who knows? But if you would have thrown 1% down on each one, whatever the case, it makes it a lot tougher to come back. Especially if you're waiting for confirmation, it makes it a lot easier to come back after a test trade loss. Right. But so check me out, right? This is our closest starting point. So I want to attack this zone first. Now at this point, I'm waiting here. Like I probably set a limit right here, set a test trade limit, looking for buy opportunities, right? But the market missed us. And this is what I'm seeing. The market sweeps liquidity. We sweep that low, and then we change direction to the upside. Right? So at this point, I want to start looking for some buy opportunities. Whether I missed, whether I hit stop loss. If I hit stop loss, I'm not worried because, again, each first touch can be a test trade. However, if it hits stop loss, I was originally targeting this zone anyways. And if we get the confirmation, then we can go ahead and throw down the 1%er here and do what we have to do. Okay? So let's go ahead and see. Same thing here. We could have taken that as well. I was just focused more over here on this side, right? Break a structure, starting point. Again, this is the closest starting point. Look at what the market gave you. It already gave you a 1 to 2. So this is already a profitable trade in my rule book because I take partial at 1 to 1 and I break even at 1 to 2. So let's take a look if we hit take profit with that one. And look, and this is why trade management is so important, right? Even though my main focus was this trade, same thing, right? What if I test traded this zone? Maybe I didn't, but same rules apply. Where did you get in? Around here. Where is your 1 to 1? Right there. The market came into your entry, bounced up, and this movement gave you a 1 to 1. You should have taken some profit. 1 to 2, right? Look at this wick. This wick hits your 1 to 2. Your stop loss, even though you probably were looking for a 1 to 3 risk to reward, your stop loss should have been at break even. So nonetheless, this trade should have been a win for me because we took in partials and our stop loss was at break even. So initially we didn't have anything at risk. Give me a 1 if that makes sense. Awesome. Let's go. Let's go. So obviously that zone failed to hold. It did give us momentum, but didn't continue. Right now, the market came back down to our original entry that we were looking for. Shoulder zone. My stop loss would be at this low. My stop loss is here. Let's change this to red. Now, same rules apply, right? Again, I would love to target this swing high for a swing opportunity because we're on the weekly time frame. We're on the weekly time frame right now, guys. Right? Again, this would be crazy amount of pips. Yes, it's a 1 to 4, but the pips is what's really wild. Right? I don't really trade gold that often. I don't know if that's 21,000 pips or oh yeah, I think that's 21,000 pips. Insane movement, right? But when we back test, even check it out. I usually back test on higher time frame because that gives me the understanding that even though the market left us a zone right here, it will continue and give us opportunities the way it did, but the markets always come back to the higher time frame zones. Guys, keep that locked in your database. The market always come back. They always come back to your higher time frame zones. Markets can give us opportunities. Yes, they will. They will continue giving us opportunities. But out of nowhere, the markets always come back to higher time frame zones before taking back off. Okay. And again, check this out. If we're paying attention to structure, higher high, higher low, higher high. If this buy opportunity gives us what we want, this is going to be higher low to make a new higher high. Give me a 7 if that makes sense. So we're looking for this market to continue. Buy up in this area and continue making its way and making new highs. Okay, let's take a look. Oh, wait, hold on. Market gave us a 1 to 1. Oh, wait, hold on. Where are we at? Give me a second. Let me go back real quick. Let's go down. I just want to see the jump. Okay. So the market, let's see, 1 to 2 is here. Let's just take a look. So check this out. So this is our 1 to 1, right? The market hit our 1 to 1. We should have taken partials already. Let's say we're up $50. We just took $25 out of the trading table, right? Whenever we're up $50 in our trading account, we took half, put 25 in our trading account, we're leaving 25 to run. And our stop loss is still at break even. I'm sorry, it's still in the negative, right? That's my 1 to 2. Let's see if we can go higher. Market hits my break even. I would like to swing. This is my 1 to 3. Oh, my 1 to 3 is already hit. My 1 to 3 is already hit. This is already a winning trade, right? If I'm looking to swing, then I should partial again and let it hold. At this point, my stop loss is at break even. This is already a winning trade for me. Now let's take a look. Boom. I love that. And I know, guys, I know who was looking at this structure. Let me see who was looking at this structure here. Liquidity sweep to the upside, change of direction to the downside. Was anybody looking at that structure at all? Be honest, it's okay. This is a thing, right? Did the market give us a little bit? I mean, that's a miss initially, but the market definitely gave it a little bit, right? This is the thing about the trend. Like, this would be the counter trend move, right? This is exactly what I want to see for my next buy opportunity. I know people are focused on this head and shoulder, but if this head and shoulder violates, then what are we looking for, guys? Buys. If this violates, we should already be looking for buys. 1, right? That's tip number 1. Now, let's just say you weren't focused on that structure. and you just wanted this swing high to have a break and close above. Oops. Did we break structure to the upside? You guys tell me. Yes, right? Now again, on this time frame, this is my starting point. Oops. Oh, right here. So again, because that structure got broken and closed above, we have our initial thought again is to start looking for more buy opportunities. Now, because I like to see inverteds, and every inverted is different, like on the weekly time frame, this inverted doesn't look that bad. Now, this inverted on the weekly time frame looks kind of crazy, but if we drop down to 10 or the 10 day on the daily, I would have been anticipating this drop because of this liquidity here. And this liquidity, once it's swept, now becomes my left shoulder. This is the BOS of the upside, but that would become my change of direction. So we would have left shoulder, head, change of direction. So now let's take a look. Let's see if market comes back to the area. I'm just going to go ahead and adjust my zone. Let's take a look. Oh, that was probably a missed opportunity for sure. Right there. Well, let's take a look. We continue. Bad. All right, cool. And there are times where I can kind of tell just based off backtesting so much. But notice how market comes back to this area and we bounce. We drop low and then we leave a wick and then we change direction. Watch how when we change a lower time frame. Go to the 4 hour now. Look at this structure. BOS to the downside. Change of direction to the upside. We have a starting point opportunity here. And then we have the inverted opportunity right here. Whichever one you like to use, it's there for you, right? It's there for you. Now let's take a look. It looks like this was the missed opportunity. But let's go ahead. And again, like this right here, guys, this is what running my risk to reward is, right? There are going to be times where, you're either going to wait for confirmation to appear or you're going to take opportunities as they come, right? And you're going to be willing to take a loss to follow this trend direction. So you can have a setup there and a setup there. And again, this can be a test trade. So we take a loss here. Let's just say we took a loss, whatever the case. Awesome. We took a loss. This zone wasn't it. But now this trade right here already gave us a 1-to-1. We partial. 1-to-2, we break even. 1-to-3 at this high, right? And again, I would like to see if we can take this swing opportunity all the way up. Now, I can already see that we already had this shift. BOS at the downside, change of direction. Let's see if we can get one more opportunity come down here. Let's see if we can get one more, because right now it's consolidating. Let's see if we can drop down one more time before heading back up and taking off. This trade, oops. This trade hit 1-to-1. This is already a break. This is already a partial trade. This trade hit, just shy of 1-to-2. So at this point, my stop loss is still where it is. Okay. But look at this. This trade already hit take profit. Take profit 3. 1 to 3, easy money. Now, again, if you're looking to hold this, you can swing it here. And at this point, this trade is already risk-free. We took partials. We're at break even. We should be good. Okay. Let's see if we respect this zone. At this point, this trade is good. First trade is good. Second trade, we already took partials. We have not broken even yet. Let's take a look. Awesome. Let's go. Let's go. And guys, I haven't even dropped below the 4-hour time frame yet. Understand, you guys don't have to drop down to the lower time frame to call yourself profitable. Okay? You guys don't have to drop to a lower time frame to call yourself a trader. You guys don't have to go to the lower time frame to, be like, yo, I'm freaking sick with it. Like, you don't have to drop down to a lower time frame. What time frame fits you the best? Right? And for me, I love the 4-hour. I love, like, the 4-hour is like my sweet spot for some reason, right? 1 hour, solid. Anything below that, I know I need to be on point with my structure. I need to be on point with my markups because a lot of manipulation happens. A lower time frame can sometimes cause fake. Exactly. Lower time frames do cause fake outs. More manipulations happen, which means your capital is being put at risk and possibly getting taken from you, right? Exactly. Everybody got that different personality, Vince, 1000%. So what do you love? What low of a time frame do you like going down to? Now, this is the thing. There's a difference. You guys might love dropping down to the 5-minute or 1 minute, but are you really killing it on that time frame? Just because you love dropping down to the 5-minute or 1 minute doesn't mean you're killing it. The time frame that you just smack the most on, charts are clean, structure is clean, my markups are clean, and I have a better time trading. That's the structure you guys should be loving and falling in love with. Okay? That's the structure you should be falling in love with. Now, again, market structure is flowing in our direction. Now, how could I have been able to tell this? Well, one, we're in an uptrend, right? Let's just back it up for a second. Higher high, higher low, higher high. This whole thing is going to be my higher low. Boom. Now, this goal is to make it above this green line to make it a new higher high. Okay? Now, again, daily time frame. This is my trend direction. Okay? Higher time frame. This is my trend direction. At this point, when I see this, I'm already thinking the market wants to continue. Okay? Now, as I drop down to the 4-hour, now I want to see that structure shift. I want to see the market change direction on me. I don't care if it misses my zone. Miss me. I don't care. I'm not worried about the sniper. That's not one thing I'm worried about. But what I do want to see is I want to see structure. That's what I am worried about. So if we break down and change direction, I want to see that. Okay? So now we're on my time frame structure, or my structure time frame. My structure shift time frame. So I can see the market consolidating, pulled back. Okay, we dropped. Now what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Are we going to go ahead and go lower? Or are we going to go ahead and change direction now? Market's going to tell me. Let me see. We changed direction. Awesome. So that's my hint on my structure shift time frame that the market wants to go higher. Okay. Now at this point, I want to look for buys in this area. Now the same thing. I want to see the same thing, right? Vinny, how do you know the market's going to go your way? Well, as the market is on its way to my buy zone, I need to mark up my BOSs, guys. I can't even stress this enough. Like, I say this on every call. You guys probably overlook it, but you guys have to mark up your BOSs. If you can't see it, I get it. If you don't know higher highs and higher lows, or BOSs and change of directions, I get it. But you have to ask the question so we can help you understand it. Because once you understand the consolidation, the BOS, and the change of direction, you're going to see the market go your direction. You're going to see the structure start to shift. That's the strat I personally use as a beginner. Bro, that's the strategy I use as an advanced trader. I use the same thing, you know, uh, whether you're trading with, luck/levels or smart money, we're trading the same thing. I don't care how advanced you want to call smart money and their structure. It's the same thing as higher high, higher low, BOS, change of direction. It's the same exact thing. It's just different wording. It's just the wording is, advanced so you could understand the candle movement and the candle characteristics, the emotional aspect of side of things. But trust me, guys, it's the same exact thing. I wouldn't lie to you. Trust me, I put in so much hours behind the screen to understand this stuff to make it a lot more simpler for you guys. The more you train your eye with marking it up, the more you see it. Trust me. Yes, yes, Etney. And anyone could for sure attest to that. She's been with us for the last like 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. And I know for her, I know she couldn't really see the setups, if I'm not mistaken. And, just by marking it up, having her send me the markups, going along with her sister back and forth because her sister trades more smart money and I trade more levels. But, the structure is tied in, but when you mark it up, you're going to start seeing it. You're going to see it over and over and over again. Okay. So at the same time, I want to see the market give us the structure shift. Now, again, I can watch it on this 4 hour or I can watch it on the 1 hour. So let's drop down. This is my BOS. This is my change of direction line. Let's continue. Oops. Now, if the market breaks and closes above, I don't really trust it because I'm seeing a lot of this right here. So even if it does do something like this and break and close above, I'm almost thinking like it wants to come back down and continue because there's a lot of money sitting right here and there's a nice buy zone to continue going up higher. And I'm not just saying that because I already know what's going to happen. Like this is what I would be thinking live. Like y'all know the calls that we do in the mornings. There are times where we just miss opportunities because I want the markets to come down here because of something that's being built. Like trust me, I will do that all the time. And we'll probably miss opportunities because I'm looking for something specific to happen. But usually it does happen. Maybe not that day, maybe later on that week, but it does. So now let's take a look. Let's see if we get this shift. Exactly what I'm saying, right? So now I do like clean structure. I do like the clean structure. So now let's take a look. This is my BOS. At this point, this is my change of direction. But now if we can get a structure to break down a little bit and give us a bit tinier structure, that would be cool too. I don't mind, structure that looks like this so we can send the market up higher. So let's take a look. Awesome. I love seeing that. Okay, cool. Let's adjust this. At this point, we can already be in this trade opportunity. Now, at this point, I want to see if we can change direction so we can start looking for some more buys. Okay, let's take a look. Awesome. Let's go. Let's go. Vince, if you're watching this, bro, and this is the strategy you use, you should be hyped right now, bro. You should be hyped that we can do this and trade this way on gold because I used to hate when people say, you can't trade, levels with indices or commodities. I used to just like laugh and I'm like, bro, then how are you trading smart money concepts or whatever the case may be? Structure. We're talking about structure, guys. Markets, the hedge funds, the banks, they create the structure. And if we could understand the structure the best way we can, as simple as we can. I mean, guys, but there's only so many terms that I use. Higher high, higher low, lower low, lower high, BOS, change of direction, and liquidity. Bro, 7 terms. 7 terms I use. I still got 3 more terms I can use to 10, but I hardly use term, bro. Market structure. Keep things simple, right? The basics will take you so far. We don't need to make things insanely advanced to make things happen for us. Death hype, bro. I'm imagining what I would do in this, and it's making more and more sense breaking it down. Let's go. That's what we do. That's what we do. But look, again, we're on the 1 hour time frame. How many days did this happen? From change of direction to entry, this took 8 days. And you know how many people are waking up every single day to trade inside of here? Every single day, people are waking up to trade. Every single day, they're pressing buys. Buys here, sells here, buys here, sells here, buys here, buys here, sells. They're all they're doing is building liquidity for us, or building liquidity for me, because I know I'm very patient. I will wait right here. And I know some of y'all are starting to have that same type of mindset. Well, you're willing to wait in specific zones before getting into any shady opportunities, right? We don't need to trade every single day. We just need to have faith that the structure that is telling us or giving us hints the market wants to continue, it will continue, but we just have to wait at the specific zones. Okay, now let's take a look. At this point, I want to see if we can buy up from there. And at the same time, I want to see the same structure happen again. Consolidation. Give me an entry, change direction. That's what I want to see over and over and over and over again. Okay, let's take a look. Consolidating, market's going higher. I'm seeing it leave liquidity up for us. Let's take a look. Now I'm seeing this. I mean, all of this is liquidity now. We swept it. But now let's take a look. Let's see if we just stay in that range. We're just stuck in that range now. Let's see. All this is consolidation. All of it. Every single piece of it. Every single piece of that. Okay, cool. So now at this point, look at this. All of this is consolidation. This is phase one. Consolidation. This is my phase two, the BOS. Now I'm looking for phase three, which is my change of direction, so we can look for some more entries. Give me a 7 if that makes sense. Let's take a look. And I could already see structure chopping up right here as well. So if we drop down one more time and change direction, I can see it. Let's see. Awesome. We changed direction. Let's see if the market could come back to this area and head out one more time. Let's take a look. I think it just takes off though, but let's see. Taking too long. All right, so now look, this is the thing, guys. Anytime I'm in an uptrend, I just focus on my bearish BOSs, our bearish sweeps, and I need to see a change of direction off of it. At this point, this is just a sweep. We don't have a full break and close below. But if we change direction, I want to see if we can continue with this market. We don't. Let's drop it down. BOS. Let's adjust. Let's adjust. Awesome. We have the entry. You guys are seeing this happen over and over and over again. Now, we caught it on the 4 hour without dissecting it 100%. Now we're dissecting it move by move by move. And what are we looking for? The same thing. Remember, we have 2 options to look for when it comes to the head and shoulders. Option A, the regular head and shoulder. and option B, the inverted head and shoulder. Now, when I'm in an uptrend, what option do I like to use? Option A or option B? Option B. And I will just wait. I will die waiting for that structure. Die, bro. Inverted. Let's change that. Inverted. This isn't the cleanest, but inverted. Now, if we can get one more, let's see if this can give us one more so we can take off. Let's see. I look for it over and over and over again. Can there be sell opportunities? Yes, I can see the sell happening. I can see it. Lower time frames, they gave the opportunity. I can see it. I promise you there will be some. If you like to ping pong, you can. I promise you, you can. I promise you, right? But for me, I don't care about going back and forth. I'm so busy throughout my day, I don't have enough time to like adjust trades every single trade. Like, I don't want to do that personally. But you might, and that's totally fine. But let's take a look. We went down lower one more time. So now this would be my sweep. Not a BOS, but that's my sweep. And this is my change of direction line. Let's take a look. Change direction right here. It's not the cleanest. However, we do break and close above. My new shoulder zone is here. I'm gonna change this to purple just so we can, or yellow, just so it can be, you guys can see the difference. Now entry, change of direction happened here. Entry here. Let's take a look. She gone. She gone. So at this point, we have a break of structure. This is another telltale sign the market wants to continue. Starting point here. So now let's see if the structure can build us another inverted so we can look for more buys. Let's take a look. I'm not sure if it does, but let's see. Consolidation. All we need is one wick to slide below here. We just need one little beep, and then we're gone, bro. I promise you. They don't need to come down all the way up down here, bro. I promise you they don't. They just need to sweep that liquidity with a small little tiny wick, and then they're gone. I promise. Sometimes they don't even need to, they don't even need to sweep it sometimes. And it's gone. And we gone. But look, how many opportunities did the market give us before making that massive, massive run? We were missed here. It happens. We missed the opportunity. But that's okay. I wasn't worried about the miss. I can care less about a miss. I want structure. I want structure to be present. Structure was given, right? We have one opportunity here, two opportunity here, three opportunity here, four opportunity here, and then the market continues and makes that new high we were talking about. So if we go back to the higher time frame, that daily time frame we were on, we can delete this real quick just for the clarity's sake. Simple structure, guys. Higher high, higher low. The market gave us a new high. Give me a 100 if that makes sense. And how did I know the market was going to respect and keep going higher and not drop down to here? Because the market never gave me anything clean that looks like this. And the market never violated, and the market never violated a head and shoulder like this. So if I'm looking for buys and all I see is inverted, 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 bro, the market isn't selling off. It wants to continue buying. Give me a 2 if that makes sense. And that's talking about the places where we need them to buy, right? Will there be Head and Shoulders? Yes, there will be Head and Shoulders in certain places. I'm sure there was one here, 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 here. But when I needed them to look for buys, they kept giving me the structure that I needed, which is exactly what I needed to see. So I don't know, y'all. I wasn't planning on backtesting gold, and I just picked a random spot. Examples they give themselves, and I felt whoever said gold, appreciate you, because even though Lux slash levels, it might not be seen as an advanced trading style. I yawn to that, bro. I laugh at that. I laugh at it because it's structure. Like, you can't run from structure. I don't care what strategy you trade, you can't run from the structure. You can't. And I know, like, trust me, I've seen, like, y'all should have seen me my first year, bro. People would talk down on me for trading with levels. And communities across everywhere would be trading smart money. And they would be like, oh, you trade patterns, you trade patterns, you trade head and shoulder, you trade this, and that, you trade what? You trade, like, bro, we have the same entry, bro. Stop it. Like, we have the same entry. You trade smart money, I trade levels. You have one structure. I see the same structure, but we have different points of views on entry criteria and wording and verbiage. Guys, don't let the simplicity push you further away from hitting your next level, because people will see this and be like, oh, it's too simple, it don't work. Bro, bullshit. That's not true. Just because it's simple does not mean it's not going to work. We just saw it move gold by simple BOSs and change of directions. Simple. No big verbiage. No this, and this, and that, and so forth. Simple BOSs, simple change of directions. Simple structure, higher highs, higher lows. Guys, understand this stuff. If anybody needs help breaking down structure and identifying structure, please holler at me. Please holler at me. I might put you through a little boot camp, but it's gonna get you better, right? I promise you guys. Let's see. If it works and gets you paid, then it don't matter. That's what I'm saying. All of it is the same, just different wording. It is literally what my brain can acknowledge and does it for me. That's the thing too, bro. Like, they tried to put me on to smart money just because that's what everybody was on. So, like, they're like, yo, this works for me, it should work for you. And I'll be honest, like, I didn't grasp it. Like, I could not grasp smart money. And I tried, bro. I couldn't do it. I was on it for like 4 or 5 months, and I was like, bruh, yeah, I don't know. And I found levels, and I was like, bro, like, this makes sense. Like, I'm sorry, but it makes sense. So I'm just gonna not focus on that, and I'm gonna focus on this. And it ended up working out. Like, it did, and obviously the story is here now, yada yada, claps and all that stuff. But, like, it really clicked, and I spread that information that worked for me to my peers. And now we're a mix of levels and smart money traders. And, bro, like, 10 times out of 10 times, I'm telling y'all, we have the same structure, same charts, same everything, just slightly different zones, right? Levels help me understand smart money concepts, so what they say ain't valid. Bro, it did for me as well, and y'all gonna hear that all the time, when it comes to me, just because I blend in the two, and it did help me understand smart money. And smart money helped me understand levels to an even higher degree, right? So I really feel like they piggyback off each other, if you do it correctly. But with that being said, guys, I hope you guys had an amazing session with me. We don't back test very often throughout the week because we do more of the market open calls, for market open, obviously. But Mondays, I'm gonna try to do more back testing for y'all. And then on Fridays, we usually don't have calls on the Lux side, but I will definitely start sharing those so we can, get tapped into more back testing. And obviously, for the squad, for Powerhouse, you guys know how we get down. Mondays and Fridays, we get to it. right? Oh my gosh, make me clear, brother. Yes, sir. All right, guys. So with that being said, I appreciate you for your guys' time. Thank you for hopping on. I know it's late, especially for y'all on the East Coast. Um, and yeah, I will send this recording into the chats as soon as I get it. So you guys have a great weekend. Thank you for your time, and I will see you guys on Monday. Peace out, guys.